The number you have reached has been disconnected. The new number is...
The phone booth.
All right, here we go. Friday night. It's a great pleasure to welcome back into the phone booth on release tonight Mr. James Zabiela, down under, touring around the country at the moment, and we've got a moment of his time. Thanks, James. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
Welcome back to Australia and to the phone booth. But I guess since we've last spoken, you have been busy. I guess the highlights of the moment are your Darkness EP and also the Renaissance album. You're back with the Renaissance crew, done a double album, and this time thrown the usual James Zabiela technology twist to it, I guess, if you will, with your audio grabs and sounds. How's the response been going on that one for you?
Yeah, surprisingly well, actually. I just wanted to try something different to what I'd done previously. So, yeah, the first disc was a real experiment, just kind of, just going around the world, recording all different sounds and layering them up together with basically just like down-tempo and sort of strange electronic stuff that I was listening to on my iPod at the time. So it's kind of, the first disc is kind of a soundtrack to my life, and then the second disc is what I play when I get to the club. So, it's been, it's been well received, thankfully. I've been nervous about it, to be honest.
I guess it must be, because it is such a personal thing, really, more so than ever before. You really are, divulging yourself and, as you said, get your surrounds from around the world. So
yeah, totally. And I had my friend Joel Einhorn, who's a professional actor. I had him do some film soundtrack pieces of thoughtful dialogue to go in there, and I just wanted to make something that was a real sort of soundscape this time, and it was worth all the time and effort I put into it, I think.
Well, glad to hear that, absolutely. I guess, do you find, you have always had this shroud of technology, self-confessed technobot, and enjoy getting in and understanding new equipments, machineries and bits and pieces to enable you both in the studio and your live sets. Do you find yourself constantly craving new ways to enhance? These days, I guess perhaps what you were doing a couple of years ago and reinventing, effects machines, etc., becoming more and more almost standard in either effects on machines or plugins, etc. So are you constantly striving to find something to change it up a bit?
I think there is, just through the wanting to play with different gadgets and gizmos. It's fun. That's my main reason for keeping ahead in that aspect. Yeah, I think the more things that come out that allow you to edit and really control the music you're playing, better, because it means that everyone's DJ set is going to be different.
And what's the latest one you've got your hands on or your mind around that's got your attention?
Well, at the moment my DJ setup's really kind of complicated. I've got a Korg NanoPad which controls Track the Pro, and I have Ableton controlled on the DJ M800, and then obviously my FX 1000, and also a Korg K-oscillator, which is a little touch synth. But what I've been trying to do is make effects racks in Ableton which replicate the effect in Track Pro, because at the moment I don't really want to be using two software pieces on the same machine. It's kind of a high risk manoeuvre. So I still play CDs, and then most of the effects and everything, when I want to do something to a track, I'll dive into the laptop. I mix the laptop in, and then do some stuff on that, and then dive back to the CD. So even though I am an advocate of technology, I suppose I'm also aware that if a computer can crash when you check your emails, it can certainly crash when you're running two pretty powerful audio sequences at the same time.
We are talking to James Zabiela in the phone booth once again on release. Mates, we also must talk about the EP, the Darkness EP, which again was another personal thing, I believe. Sort of came from a response from, I was reading the Joy Division Bio Control, which you seem to enjoy, and sort of that...
Yeah, that's right.
...sparked something in yourself.
Yeah, it's a beautifully tragic film, that's for sure. And I think anyone that watches it is always left with something. It's a really, a really great masterpiece. But obviously after watching that, I was pretty touched, and I spent the next month listening to Joy Division albums, just while I'm travelling about, and then I ended up making this track, and it's heavily influenced by Joy Division, and also I grew up listening to Nirvana and grungy indie stuff, so I wasn't actually into dance music as a small boy. So there's like a Nirvana live bass line in there, my guitar bass line, and then the vocals of me doing my best Ian Curtis. Yeah, it's a bit of fun as well. It's not really meant to be taken too seriously, unlike the film Control, of course.
It seemed to take a life of its own. It sort of was well received, much to your surprise, I guess. Again, thinking it would be more of a personal thing, perhaps. And then it's you've worked your way into.
Yeah, well, I didn't
on.
want to release it. In fact, it sort of sat on my. I played it in my sets a few times, and it sat on my laptop for about a year. And I gave it to Renaissance, and I didn't think that was the right home for that record, actually. And then I didn't really want to. I wasn't sure if I wanted to release it or not, and they talked me into it in the end.
James, it's a great pleasure to talk to you in the phone booth again, mate. We thank you for taking time out. It is always a tiring schedule for you, and we understand. Today is an exceptionally tiring day for you, Sam. We always like to ask, though, is there a track we can get you to play on the show? Is there anything in mind for us tonight?
I've just done a remix for Orbital. It's not a famous track. I was allowed to choose any track that I wanted because they're releasing their best of compilation. And I chose something which is called Impact USA. And it's not one of the most well-known tracks because I knew that other people would be doing those anyway. So I'll send it over and then you can give it a spin.
All right, here we go. Straight from James Zabiela to you on release.
For more, head to djrelax.com.